ghost hunting, portals, and Ouija board. Let's talk about one of my pet peeves. Okay, so I know a lot about you out there love going ghost hunting. This is the in case you missed it, the truth about ghost hunting, portals, Bermuda Triangle, and Ouija board. Subscribe. I need you to understand, though, that ghost hunting is not supposed to be done. I mean, for fun and games, there's a lot of TV shows on it. The one ghost show that I see that actually is making a difference is called Ghost Loop, because they are actually releasing the spirits at the end when they find them, and that's what we should be doing. So if you're going ghost hunting, you need to understand that these are actually still living beings. They still have consciousness. They still have thought. So imagine if you were in your house, and you woke up one day and somebody was just moving into your house. And somebody, was, not actually looking at you, but yelling things at you to get out since their house. How would you feel? Like, that's what's happening here. Same thing's happening at Gettysburg with the battlefield. And the more we look for them, the more we go in and try to contact them, the more they kind of get shackled here on this plane because they're confused. So we really need to be conscious of that they are living, they are conscious beings, not earthly living beings, but they are conscious beings. They're just a little confused. And let me explain to you one area that really bothers me a lot is Pennhurst Asylum. Because, so I have 2 kids with autism. Pennhurst Asylum is where the kids would be sent who had autism before we knew it was autism. So it bothers me that these little kids' spirits are still there, and they're just kids who had autism, and we're going and trying to interact with them just for fun. So be a little more careful when you go there, if you go there, or if you do ghost hunting. Just understand that they're not toys. Spirits and ghosts are not toys. They really need help to move on to the other dimensions. And that being said, when we talk about Ouija boards, I hate that they're being sold as a toy, only because, a Ouija board is playing with a Ouija board when you don't know what you're doing is like opening your front door and just saying, okay, anybody who wants to come in and live here can. Would you do that? So what happens with the Ouija board or anything, what's that game? My daughter, Charlie, my daughter told me about any kind of those games. You're opening up a portal wherever you are. And what a portal is like a train station for spirits from any dimension, like the lower dimensions, the higher dimensions. It's just a portal. It's an entranceway to get into our dimension. So when we do that, when you guys do that and you don't close it off afterwards, or you're just asking, is anybody here? Yeah, the first people who are going to answer you are dark entities, and they're going to pretend that they're nice. And then you're going to think, oh, I met this nice little girl. No. Just don't play with Ouija boards, because, you're just stepping into something you don't really want to be stepping into. And in another month or a year, you're going to be really, really like, oh, what's going on? So another thing, I'm going to talk about the Bermuda Triangle in 1 second, but when you close off a portal, you have to actually close your session. So you see all these things where people are using Ouija boards and they scream and they run off and they say, oh, okay, okay. They didn't close anything off. So that portal is still open. The portal, so the reason things are happening in your house is because somebody either used something like a Ouija board or a seance or something like that and didn't close it off. They also might have brought in something that was not kind, not nice, not of a positive spirit, and that when you need somebody who knows what they're doing to come in and get it out of your space. So just advise against Ouija boards. Another large portal in our world is the Bermuda Triangle. Now, my youngest son is obsessed with the Bermuda Triangle, and while I was making this last video about timelines, I got a huge just download about listening to him talk about the Bermuda Triangle, and then I was talking about timelines, and I realized that the Bermuda Triangle is like intersecting, which I talk about in the video, an intersecting timeline in the middle of a portal. So it's this, if you think about a whirlpool in the ocean, it kind of sucks you down. So what's happening to a lot of these people who lost in the Bermuda Triangle is they're going through a portal onto a different timeline. So they're coming into a space where everything looks like it usually did in their life, or maybe some things are a little different, but they don't remember actually living that life. they remember living the other life. And they kind of just get dropped off, and everyone else goes, what do you mean? You were just here yesterday. And the Bermuda Triangle, I mean, I'm really going to keep meditating on this one because I'm fascinated about when it opens, why it opens, because that is a direct portal for timelines for everyone. And we really need to have a scientific study on it. So stay tuned for that. Any other questions? Spirituality, before I move on.
Thank you to my key supporters who receive exclusive content on Patreon, as well as keep this channel going. KB Rocks, Kelly, Sunil, Julie, Stu18, Soups on Me, Gail, Cindy, Tina, Kelly, Tori, John, Lise590, Holly, Caitlin, Bigfeet30, and GMAC. If you want to receive exclusive content and one-on-one sessions with me, just head on over to patreon.com/thekey, the CAY.